Hi here, Finns here. I am back for another video, and it's time for another talk about Big Brother 2023 UK. And yes, what number is it? Our sixth and seventh eviction. Is that right? No, seventh and eighth eviction this week. Yes, so before I get started on what's happened this week, who got evicted last week? Well, I predicted it would be Dylan and Noki. Excuse me there. And instead, it was Paul and Dylan. By that episode, I knew Paul was going to go. Yeah, and then you had that Yinran party, and then you had the people at the top spoiling the party and throwing things, and then Trish called out Paul for being a bully to Noki, which I understand because Paul shouldn't have gone to Noki and said, "What are you staring at?" I thought that was a bit intimidating. I mean, yes. I mean, I'm not always, I'm a bit iffy a bit about Noki, but even that, I was a bit like watching that. I did kind of feel that was kind of bullying-ish behaviour um, towards Noki for no good reason. And I think Paul should have not acted that way. He had a terrible episode, and he was probably the right one to be evicted. And I think Dylan also wasn't enjoying Big Brother anymore, so he also went out the door as well. This week we've had a lot of tasks this week. It's been a very tasky week, The housemates haven't been running out of ideas. First they had this Hunger Games um, thing to do, which led into face-to-face nominations, but only they had to pick someone to be immune. One team got the prize of picking someone for immunity that was going to be Chanel, and the other team that lost the Hunger Games challenges had to pick someone up for public vote, and that ended up being surprisingly Jenkin. And so we had a few more tasks. There was a dancing task in the garden. Um, there was what else has happened this week? It's like the shopping task this week. Oh yes, they had to be in this um security task where people friends and family try to enter the house, and they had to pick between one person or the other to go into the house, and nobody was supposed to look around. It was really emotional. Matty was pretending to cry. It was your boyfriend. And then he was told he was not there in person, and he was like, "Oh." I mean, who ranks like that? He was the Yin Ran. It felt like he's just found out somebody died or something. It's just, I mean, I guess it can be emotional, but really that emotional? Affects different people, I guess. And nominations happened, and there was another rule break. Chanel and Olivia broke the rules, and that cost Chanel lost her immunity, and Olivia lost her right to vote at the nominations this week. So, in the end, who's also up for public vote this week was Chanel, Trish, Noki, and Olivia, alongside Automatic up for nomination, Automatic Eviction. Oh, I'm feeling that you're an automatic one for us. Jenkin is also up with them. So we've got 5 people, and it's going to be a double elimination this week. 2 people, 2 people are going to be up this week. So let's go through them one by one. Jenkin up first. Now, Jenkin, he's at the first few weeks, he was a bit quiet. I think now he's coming out his shell. I think ever since his mother came back into the house, we liked Jenkin's mother because she spoke the truth. Oh, you haven't come out your shell, Jenkin. He just wandered back in, and We like Jenkins' mother. She should have been a housemate as well. But no, I mean, he's getting out of his shell and he does have funny one-liners. And I don't think he's done enough to annoy the general public, so I think he's going to be okay. Chanel, on the other hand, well, she's stirring the pot, isn't she? I don't know about Chanel. This is the first time she's also been going to be up for public vote. She has not had a great week, and I just don't think. Yeah, she knew what she was doing with casting uh, um, the rule break, basically. And maybe she does overthink and overreact sometimes, and that plays against her a little bit. There is a bit of friction between her and Trish that hasn't gone um, Chanel's way. I don't know. I don't know. I do feel bad that she got immunity, and then she's got like the most votes up for the public vote now. So yes, I just don't think she has had the greatest of weeks, and I don't think she's hasn't become. She's not warm. She doesn't seem. There's no warmth towards Chanel, and I think that's a problem. She comes across a little bit cold, in my opinion. But anyway, we move on. Trish. Sorry, I thought what out. Trish. I mean, she said what she said. I'm glad she stands her ground. She called Paul out for being a bully, and I respect her for that, And then other housemates saying, "Oh, can't believe she called Paul a bully." Well, you've been calling her aggressive, so I don't know who's in the right here, but I like Trish. I like that she stands her ground. Maybe she executes it not always in the right way, but she always has a point of view and she will not be back down. And I respect that. Trish, she is a survivor. She has found a fiver. She is not going to give up and she is going to keep on surviving in that house. Let's move on to Noki now. Also, another week up for a public vote. Now, Noki has been bit on the fence, mixing with the two groups. Oh yes, we've got two groups now. There's a division in the house. There's an upstairs gang and the garden gang. Personally, I prefer the upstairs gang because they're more cool to hang out with. But Noki seems to be floating. She's more near the upstairs gang. So I feel like yeah, she does sit on the fence a little bit, and that's the problem with Noki. She can't commit, and that's the problem. But, I have warmed to Nokia. I was a bit iffy when she starts crying and that. Is it all staged a little? But now I'm starting to warm to her. But, the numbers are going down, so we're going to have to lose some people this week. So I don't know if she's going to have done enough. We'll see. She survived last week. Can she do it again? I don't know. And finally, Olivia is up this week. Um, Olivia's been on a journey with me. I didn't really like her in Launch Show. I thought she was annoying. Then she got immunity from the first public vote, and then I kind of did warm to her. I liked the relationship she had with Kerry and Hallie when they were in the house. But I think after they both gone, I think we've seen Olivia hanging out with Tom and then with Paul when he was in, and she's in the garden gang. And I don't know. I think she does have some good things to say in the house. She hasn't been the annoying spoiled brat that we might have thought in Launch Show. So I think she's all right, Olivia. I don't mind Olivia from the Garden Gang. She's the least worst, let's say, from the Garden Gang. But yeah, but are we going back to week 1, Olivia? Then week 2 or 3, Olivia? Who knows? In any case, who do I think will be up for the public vote? Who will be evicted? Well, who's going to be up? We know who's going to be up for the public vote. Who's going to get evicted? Based on reactions I've seen online and the latest live show, I think Chanel will probably get the most votes because I don't think people are warming to her, and I think people haven't said the nicest of things of her. I think even Hallie said she talks behind people's backs. That's what Hallie said on one of the podcasts this week. So I think Hallie will be up first. Who else? No, not Hallie. I mean Chanel will be up first. Who else will be evicted this week? I'll have to toss a coin. um, you know, I don't think it's Jenkin. I think Jenkin hasn't done enough to get evicted. You see, with the other three, they've avoided eviction, getting evicted. But I don't know. I'm worried Trish could be an easy target, be evicted. I don't want it. But people like Trish. What I've heard from like the guests they get on Late and Live, the reaction on social media, online, a lot of positivity for Trish. So I don't think she's top the vote. But yeah, again, it's not a vote to save. It is a vote to evict. I'm gonna say it will be Chanel and Noki. I'm not so sure about Noki. It's a hard one. It's a hard one. But I'm gonna say Chanel and Noki. Maybe. Be interesting seeing them both on Late and Live, sitting next to each other in the audience. But yeah, it's a hard one this week. I mean, it's hard every week. And who knew? This is like the penultimate eviction. It's like the finals next week. I'm like, what? We've only just got started. Yes, this year's Big Brother is only lasting, what, 40 something days. It's like the shortest ever series of Big Brother. And I think, and then we're going to have I'm Celebrity start straight after it. So yes, not that very long series. I wish they started it in maybe August time or even September time. Maybe had an extra month, or maybe just a few more extra days. I think 40 days, 45 days. It's a bit too short for a Big Brother series. I think it's even shorter than 2016 series when it was only 50 days. I think maybe they should have at least given it like 50, 55, pushing on maybe 60. Remember when Power Trip in 2014 was like 72 days and that went on forever? I'm not saying go for that, but maybe next year, maybe start it a little bit earlier next year. Maybe start it immediately after Love Island finishes and then like and then have it in more the autumn time than it going into winter time, you know what I mean, just before I'm Celeb starts. But anyway, we'll get to that bridge when we get to it next year. Anyway, who do you think will be evicted from the Big Brother house this week? Comment down below in the comment section below, like and subscribe to this video, and I'll be back for more content very soon. So then goodbye, goodbye.